My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of Invincible Season 3. And this review will have spoilers, so there's your warning. But this show is peak television. It really is. This was one of the greatest seasons of television I have ever seen, and now Invincible is my second favorite show. Like, it's that good, and it just keeps getting better and better. So, let's begin by talking about the cast. And Stephen Yeun, this is honestly one of my favorite performances ever now. He is phenomenal here. He carries the show incredibly well. He brings plenty of personality to Mark. He brings complexity. He can be emotional when needed. And he just fully delivers in every way. I like how in episode 7 he gave each version of Mark a different personality, and he can actually be quite funny. But his performance in the finale, like, holy shit, I was blown away. Like, truly, some of the best voice acting ever. This man is a true talent, and I really hope he starts appearing in more movies. Jillian Jacobs is also really fantastic. She's so kind and likable and understanding as Eve, and she just represents good so perfectly. And then we've got Sandra Oh, and I thought she continued to do a really great job. At the end of the day, you can just tell that this is a mom who loves her kids. And she just sells you on that every moment. J.K. Simmons isn't in this season as much, but he still does a really good job. I do hope he's in season 4 a bit more. And same with Seth Rogen. He does a good job, just doesn't have much to do. Christian Convoy, I thought did great as Oliver. There is so much complexity to this character and how he views everything and how he ages, and he is just so compelling, and he brings this naivety to this character. He brings this excitement, but he also brings this real weight when needed. He brings darkness when needed. So he truly stands out here. Jason Mantzoukas as Rex, fantastic work. Like, this character is such a douche at the beginning of the show, but he becomes a genuine good guy. He becomes a real hero, and you just buy every character beat of his, and there's a reason why his death is so tragic, and it's because we care. So he does an excellent job. Grey Griffin as Ray really stood out here as well. Lots of complexity to her character, and she just sells you on everything that she needed to. The scene of her breaking down at Rex's funeral was just heartbreaking to watch. Ross Marquand as Immortal. This guy is so interesting, but he's such a dick, and I thought he brought this character to life incredibly well. Jeffrey Dean Morgan. Now, I've seen some bitches on the internet complaining about his voice, and here's the deal. You're wrong. He is terrific as Conquest. He just nails this character, and I couldn't imagine anyone else voicing him. Just truly tremendous work. Sterling K. Brown as Angstrom Levy is becoming one of my favorite villains because I love how evil he is, but he's also really stupid in a good way, and I love what Sterling brings to this character. Walton Goggins is phenomenal. There is so much complexity and depth to Cecil as a character, and he also brings a level of charisma. Aaron Paul was perfect as Powerplex. Like, it's just, he can't keep getting away with this, but for an entire episode. But he just fully delivered. And everybody else I didn't mention did great work as well. And I grew up watching Batman the Animated Series, Batman Beyond, Justice League, Spider-Man the Animated Series, X-Men Evolution, Wolverine and the X-Men, The Spectacular Spider-Man. And, like, great shows, but I feel like Invincible is giving me everything that I got from those shows as a kid, but still being very adult. Like, I was talking to my brother the other day, and I'm just like, we know all these heroes, like Rexplode and Warbot and Shrinking Ray, and we know the villains, Angstrom Levy and Powerplex and the Molotrins, and I can't think of the last time that a new superhero show came along and the characters stood out that much. Like, these characters, to me, feel instantly iconic, and I love that. I really do. And I just love how this show showcases power, how it showcases strength, how it showcases aging, how it showcases time, how it showcases just all of these weird, interesting sci-fi concepts, and it does so in such an effective way. And I love the brutality of it. When shit goes down, it's not afraid to go to those places, and it just allows this show to stand out all the more. I also love how action-packed it is. I love the romance between Mark and Eve. And I think the animation is really good. I am sick of this complaint. I really am. Like, does it look like Arcane? No, nothing else does. But it does remind me of those shows I watched growing up. I do think it looks good, and it does have its great looking moments. So shut the fuck up about this, okay? I love the use of the soundtrack, especially Yo Man and the Billie Eilish song, and 9 Inch Nails in the finale. Just perfect song choices. And I like how this season as a whole is about good and evil and all that gray stuff in between. Mark begins with this naive point of view, and he goes on a dark path that you completely understand and kinda relate to. And I think the character work here is so compelling. Like, everybody is fascinating. Even how Warbot at the end gives a speech as his Warbot version, and as the human side of him is crying. Like, just brilliant. It really is. I loved how episode 2 had that Mark and Cecil confrontation. It brought lots of dramatic weight to this season early on, and that tension just remained the entire time. But then we get the final 2 episodes, and episode 7, perfect. Like, you feel the weight of everything happening, the world is just getting destroyed. Lots of death, and it's tense and brutal. And Rex's death is so badass and so heartbreaking. And it's really phenomenal. And after all that, Conquest comes into the picture, and it's one of the greatest cliffhangers I have ever seen. And did it deliver? Holy shit! Did it ever? Episode 8, masterpiece. Just a masterclass. It really is. Conquest as a character is so brutal and so mean and so interesting. Like that scene where he's telling Mark about how lonely he is, and then he tells him that he's going to take it to the grave. So good. And once again, I love how this show is willing to go brutal. Mark breaks so many of his bones here. Oliver almost gets ripped in half. Eve gets her guts punched out of her. And it's tragic, and you feel the weight of it when Mark is bawling his eyes out at the sight of Eve. It is devastating. And I love that one line. I can see the future, and you don't make it till tomorrow. Brilliant callback to episode 4. Just brilliant. It really is. And I love how Eve really powers up this episode. It feels earned. Like, I know people keep talking about how Eve and Invincible hold back too much. Well, so moments like this mean more. And watching Mark bite Conquest and headbutt him to the verge of death, it is so satisfying and it's so powerful. And I love how Debbie apologizes to him for everything. Like, she didn't want this life for him, and it's just sad. But I love how this season ends with Mark telling Oliver he was right, and that he's going to start killing a bit more now. And you get it. You really get it. And I feel like next season he's not going to hold back, and I feel like this show is just going to continue take it to the next level. And what's great about that ending is that it also recontextualizes the Powerplex episode. Well, that episode is now better because Mark is saying and doing every right thing there. He's not fighting Powerplex. He wants to sympathize and understand and apologize. And it's like, that Mark, I don't think he's going to exist in the next season. And I love how it teases the Mars aliens and Battle Beast, who was great here as well. And Hellboy, not Hellboy. I can't believe we're getting him back. Like, I know he was set up in season 1, but it's been so long. So I can't wait to see where this show goes. And it's just really smart writing. To go back just a little bit. This season is all about good and evil. That's Mark and Cecil's big debate. In episode 3, Mark is trying to tell Oliver the difference. In episode 4, Mark is put in a position where killing is a mercy. In episode 5, if Mark just did the wrong thing there, more people would be alive. And it would have been the better choice to make. And I love how that through line just continues here. Thematically and character-wise, this show is top-notch. I just care so deeply for these characters, and they're challenging and complex and fascinating, and just the direction, the writing, the voice cast, just everything this show delivers. It gives me everything I could want from this kind of show, and to be quite honest, Spider-Verse movies aside, it puts every other superhero content now to shame. Like, Invincible is just so much better than them all. So I'm giving Invincible Season 3 a 9 out of 10. Just truly perfect. But Invincible Season 3, have you seen it? What did you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned for more videos soon. And Gavin, out.